Welcome to Mystic Moons. It's early, or late. It's dark outside, it's chilly, and it's damp. Typical mid-spring weather in the hills and the mountains of the Northeast United States. Tonight, in the midst of all this solar activity, which makes it impossible to really do anything during the daytime because the energy of the sun is just so great. There's so many explosions, so many of this. The storms are happening in the galaxies, in our galaxy, in our geometry. Yeah. It makes you think about what's really going on, what's really happening. This energy that we're getting from the sun makes us go inside, not to take things at surface value, but to think about what is going on. The question we have to ask ourselves, Mystic Moon listeners who are tuning in to this episode, to this perhaps revelation, is, are you a citizen? We are citizens. I'm a citizen, you're a citizen, perhaps. But think about it this way. Can you be a citizen, or are you a citizen? At the same time, be a gene-specific bioweapon subject. Did you ever think of that? That's a lot of like garble. But in other words, are you a test subject and a citizen for a specific bioweapon? Searching always, scientists. They used to lament they didn't have enough DNA. Well, now we know that they have tons of stuff, tons of DNA, hundreds and thousands and millions of DNA on file worldwide. But however, we're talking about US. And you innocently go to the doctor, correct? You go to the doctor and he says, well, let's test your blood, right? Let's test your blood. You can do it for your pets too. Let's test your blood. Well, in the very act of having them draw out your blood, or they ask you to, would you please go pee in give me a sample of urine. Go pee in that bathroom over there and bring me back a specimen, a cup. Do you know that cup of pee or that vial of your blood, do you know what happens to that? Do you know that okay, so let's assume it goes into a database. You can assume that. But did you know ever since January, oh, do you know too that all those samples that you freely give, the doctors say, oh, Amy, can you please give us some blood today and we'll take a look and don't worry about it. We'll just run it through the machine. Or, Sam, can you go pee in that, give us a urine sample and just a routine check to make sure everything's okay. Well, do you know that there's an ethics board that any scientist can go and apply to use your data without use your DNA, your pee, or your blood without asking you? Or your organs? Anything. Even if they ask you to fill, they don't even ask you, did you know? Let me tell you something specifically what's happening. What has happened ever since last year, mind you, I would say the past 14 months, that your physician, your beloved physician, can use your DNA that you've freely given, can use you as a test subject for somebody else. They could take somebody else's DNA, stick it in you, and to do whatever they want because they don't even have to ask your permission anymore. They just automatically do it. So, do you know that we could be walking bioweapons? Walking bioweapons. We could be in medical experiments without our consent. Now, we can be not even have ownership of our own bodies ever since last year in January 24th, something like that, a date. January 24th, 2024. Think of that, right? Think of that. Hello, hello, hello. Real Furious. Hey, you. Real, okay. Organ harvesting takes place anywhere. Yes, it's true. You're, well, you don't know. You don't know what they're doing. They're taking you and making you common property, disposable, or something. Your friendly neighborhood practitioner can do all these things without telling you. And then they'll go, oh, ever since I went to that doctor, something isn't feeling correct. Well, maybe because he or she stuck something in you just to say, I can get $10,000 extra if I just stick this in these patients this week, each one $10,000, and I'll be over an easy street. Ha ha. Medical is not what it used to be or what was on the television and Nickelodeon period. Now, the friendly neighborhood physician is not your bestie. Cannot be. It's kind of iffy. It's the if zones. It's the if zones, the iffy. Now let's find out. So now, are you yourself? Is this widespread or is this what? What is this? Is this really, 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 really happening? Or is this just like, what do they call those things? A myth, not a myth, not a white elephant or well, get the idea. Some kind of fable, something made up. Is this the state of our medical team of our health system? Oh, the first thing we get is the devil. The joke is on us. Once again, us as citizens, now, we don't even have the right to consent not to be part of an experiment. This is a joke, isn't it? Maybe this is why that Luigi who did whatever he did is like such a blown out of proportion. It's like there's a big disconnect going on. Yes, the real Furious. The graveyards is another, yes, but they don't have to even bother going to like Frankenstein and digging up a corpse. They can just simply, of course, once you're dead, they can take your heart, your brain, or anything, especially in the state of New York. They can take any organ out of your body and put it in the classroom. Anything, when they have it, you have to have an autopsy. So they can take whatever they want. They can take your heart, your kidneys, whatever. And would you be the wiser? Do you have any say over it? No. And look at this. We have the King of Swords. It's like, common knowledge. Yeah. We have the devil. Look at that face. The devil. And then we have the King of Swords, all out of your hands. It's like quite. Is this the way we want it? Is this Bill? Is this how we're going to live our lives? And the next thing we have is the Wheel of Fortune. Yeah, there's money in this when they're trying to say, give me that specimen, give me these things, give me, or let's get this experiment done. We don't have to ask the people. So what? They're too ignorant and too stupid anyhow. We are too ignorant and too stupid to find out anything anyhow. Who's going to say anything? The wheel, there's plenty of money in it. There's money in it. Which again, it gets filtered down to AI, which teaches AI that how less valuable humanity is towards humanity. Of what value? Are we just treated like pets, cats and dogs, cattle, livestock? The next thing we have here is the Six of Cups. Oh, and there's many organizations, many research. I would take this as the opportunity for many reasons to get that medical experiments done. They have no time to waste, no time to ask, no time and no desire. So yes, you can be a citizen. You are a citizen and you are a medical specimen, a gene specific bioweapon, because that's what they're searching for. Especially take the United States, for instance. We have so many people, part this, part that, part this, part that. I mean, we have a whole lot of mixing going on, current mixing, right? I don't mean mixing from like 200 years ago. I mean currently. So if you want to find, there's so much a wealth of genes. If you want to find out how to do in certain people of a certain ethnicity, well, or a mixture of a certain mixies, blends, whatever, halfies, quarterlies, and why don't you just come right on here? Yes, real. You know, you take like even in Ukraine, you take in the Gaza. What's the biggest businesses? Collecting those body parts, collecting that skin, collecting those organs. War is lots of money for organs, hearts, livers, skin, stuff like that. Yes, that's why it thrives. And who knows? And then look what we have here. The Tower. That's some kind of reading. The Devil. We got the King of Swords. We have the Wheel of Fortune. And we have the Six of Cups. And we have the Tower. Now, Tower is sudden change. In other words, you could be a human one, you can be a regular person, you know, good old Joe, good old Mary, good old Jose. And then all of a sudden you become some kind of like corporate owned bioweapon. They can take your genes and copyright it. You could end up not even owning. You could end up not even owning your own body. And of course they're waiting they're probably waiting for you to they can do anything they want. If you're more valuable dead than alive, especially if your job is replaced by some sort of automation, you can put the words in yourself. You could be a sudden snap. You're worth more dead or alive. You see, remember those old movies, Wanted Dead or Alive? Well, now they don't have to as that change. They don't even have to put posters out. They just go harvest. And then even, of course, you just need like a few little bits of you and they own you. They own you. Your body. Your body is your temple? No. Your body's no temple. Your body is a specimen. A specimen. Something to be put in a lab, in storage, in a freezer, right? A freezer. Steam cells, yes. Abortion too. Abortion is like, oh, you don't have to be a parent. Oh, it's true. You don't abort anything, abort it all. Because where do you think those, you do know that complex computers, they have human brain cells in them too. Now, if they have human brain cells, can't they have other things as well? Right? And how do you think they churn around so fast? Do you think they these, the days of Dr. Jekyll, Dr. Hyde, or Frankenstein going around with all those little vials and slowly? No, they have those churning data centers, just turning out all the possible combinations. And then once they got you, they got you. So your friendly little doctor who gets your urine and your blood samples, and maybe he even takes a snip of your hair. Who knows? Cloning. Yes, cloning sleeves of the poor, and body oids, yes. So it's just, you have to allow your mind to go there. You have to. Mystic Moon listeners, you have to realize that we are not in, and what's that, you're not in Kansas anymore. You're not in the old days. You're in a space age, disposable, weird type of disconnection age. People are not really, we're not really understanding we are in this space age. We are in already a mixed galaxy, a mixed planetary stage. I mean, there are people that are like millions of light years ahead of other people. And other people that are still trying to go, like, stay in their little harbors. Those harbors are like illusions. Those little concaves are illusions, because this is our time. The devil is in the details, as they say. And the King of Swords, meaning, yes, we tell you what to think and what to do, but you can't tell us what to think and what to do, because we're the boss, and you are the subjects. And here, again, plenty, the wheel of fortune. Oh, the money is so good at the top. So good at the top. Yes, real, exactly. You just have to realize that this stuff has been going on for a long time. But now they just can't hide anything anymore. Even the fact of saying that, they don't have to tell you that when you go to the doctor and you give your blood samples or your urine samples, they don't have to tell you. Even when you go for, let's say, I got a headache or something like that, they don't have to tell you anymore that you're being treated like you have an operation. Well, they just might stick something inside of you while they're having an operation. They don't even have to tell you you're part of an experiment. Or they're doing something, extracting your DNA to see if you make a good subject, a good gene-specific bioweapon to be used against X, Y, and Z. Meaning people. They don't have to say anything. Isn't that disgusting? But yet we quietly talk about all these stupid things, with all this trauma that is like, we feel it on some sort of level, we feel it on our innards. All this trauma is going down. And we're just there waiting for what? Every single thing is consequences. And the most important consequences are being left unsaid, untalked about, unspoken. Now we're talking about stupid things, stupid words. Now, that's something that you have to consider, that you are also you are a democracy, you are a citizen of the United States, but at the same time you are an unspoken or uninformed potential subject of medical experiments. And there's nothing you can do about it if you have an unscrupulous or unscrupulous, whatever the word is, person who is your physician, who wants that money, to pay off his loans, to pay off his house, his mortgage. You never know. Her, them, they. You don't know. And they keep us occupied with stupidity as they continue to take our citizenship values like a bag of popcorn, like treats, snacks. So what do you think? Do you think the last time you went to the doctor that your doctor was like on the level with you? Did you get a headache after coming back from that doctor? Did you go to can the dentist do it? You have to ask yourself, and who can do all these things? Well, anybody with a medical license? What do they do to your pets? They can do this to you. Can you believe anything anymore? These are all the things. We live in a very, 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 very precarious, untrustworthy times. You have to use your common sense. You have to use your psychic sense. You have to psych somebody out. And then just because they can use the tonality and trappings of something that seems they wouldn't do that, you really wouldn't do that type of person, they can very well be that kind of person. They can very well just be wearing a masquerade. You can't even sue. You can't even sue these people for anything because it is the law. It is. You can not contest it. It is a law now for exactly maybe like 15 months. And then you take you've heard of Sam Altman, who is with Open AI, and you've heard of Larry Ellis, who's with Oracle. Now, in this bill that President Trump is passing, he wants to give these people 10 years of freedom, free reign over anything they want to do. Free reign. So where do you think these blood samples and these urine samples end up going to? Huh? How do you think they make those bioweapons, those gene-specific bioweapons with your DNA? Do they sit down? Do these people sit down? No, they put it through their quantum computers. They put them through their AI systems. They teach AI how to kill, maim, use. Now, in 10 years, you can do a hell of a lot. If they can compute 5 million things in 1 second, can you imagine what they do with 10 years of 10 years? Millions and billions and trillions and zillions of seconds. And there's no lawsuit. They cannot. In that bill that is trying to get passed right now, they cannot be sued. The states have no rights. That means it's all in the hands of a few people, 5 or 6 people, whatever they decide. 5 or 6 trillionaires, mind you, who value you according to your dinero, how much money you have, how much. Do you think they care? You think, where is the caring? Where is the humanity? Where are we going with all this? Remember, it is now, they do not need your consent. When you go to choose your physicians wisely. And always keep a part of you, right? Hold back. Because think what their objective is. So you can't sue. And if this bill goes through without it's in the Senate right now, but if it goes through without any type of modifications, we are again screwed in the head. We're screwed. We're already teetering because nobody's giving any thought to where all this is going, because we're all being trained to be Sesame Street momentary in the present only. Don't think about the future. Don't think about the past. Just think about looking good, sounding good, and thinking how everybody else is supposed to think. That's where it's at. That is exactly where it's at. Yes, real furious. Human rights. There's no humanity. We're turning into. But our human. The universe is telling us to pay attention. The universe, even right now, the fact that we're getting these huge bolts of solar corona raises, electromagnetic raises, is trying to burrow into our cortex, into our frequencies. Something, wake up. These are wake up calls. Wake up to what's really happening. Wake up and get away from this. Oh, this person is this religion, this person is that religion, this person is this color, this person is this sex, this is bullshit. Think about what we are doing to each other on the humane level, our humanity to humanity. Peace, love, kindness will make us grow exponentially. And the opposite of that tears us apart, and allows us to become invaded with all these other treacherous acts of being non-human. See? Exactly. Even the fact that we even use the word news, right? News. And we don't, how come we haven't heard about the fact of it's not being said? You can now, congratulations, we're now in our 15th month of United States citizens can be uninformed medical subjects of medical experiments, of being, of being, of being a bioweapon, of being a potential bioweapon. We're going to see if it's a match. And how do you feel? None of your business. What do you feel? None of your business. That's where it's at. That's exactly where it's at. So we have to remember that we are humans, and we do have psi abilities, psychic abilities. We do have psi abilities, psi aspirations. It has to be, you have to concentrate, develop it. So let's cleanse, cleanse. Bring all the energies to where they should be. Right? Bring him into your vagus nervous system and breathe deeply and be alive. Be alive because you have to pay attention. Don't be in a fog. Don't be fearful. Just be alive and be human. Yes, furious. I think we just have to be alive and be aware and don't be gullible. When you see somebody using taglines, you know what they are, those taglines, the same old 25 words you hear when someone wants to make you be quiet. Then you know you're already being gamed. 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 I won't go into those 25 words, but you know what they are. It rings hollow to a thinking, feeling, empathetic human. It does. It does. It does. Well, I think I think that we have a lot of energies playing, a lot of things that we're going to. This year is explosive, not just for one country or another country, but because there's bigger plans, bigger things going on. No matter how much we try and what. No matter how much we try and pretend it's not happening, it's happening. It's affecting our love. It's affecting our love life, our future, everything. We must be strong. We must be stronger for each other. We mustn't get into, we just have to be knowledgeable and share our knowledge and share what is something universally happening to all of us. All right? I think so. So, anyway, so we can very well see there's something going on. And obviously, you have to watch your medical team. It gives a whole new meaning to being a hypochondriac. It does. All right, so I'm going to, if anyone has any questions, any comments, any more comments, please add. But I think that, just give it some thought about like when you like there used to be even too I think when you used to go to work they used to take a drug test. You take a drug test, p-test, to see if you had any drugs in your system. And of course I don't know if they don't do that. I don't know what they do, but I don't think they do it in New York anymore. but they, for certain, I think they do still probably do. I don't know. I don't use drugs, so I don't really, I'm not into that world of knowing that. But it's something that you have to consider, right? Oh, yes, it's possible. You could, that's the whole thing about being, you know, we are, see, the wonderful thing about being right now and being aware of all the pitfalls is the fact that right now we have a crystal power. Crystal power is developing in us. You see these figures in the back? That's an emanation of the crystal power that we are developing into. The more that we become aware of like earthly trivias, and I mean earthly trivias in terms of propaganda, in terms of like mind control, blah, 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 blah. The more we develop our crystal powers, of which we can, like you have an illness, let's just say you have an illness, a physical illness, and you can use your own body to heal itself, provided you stay in a certain type of non-fear, non-agitated. I mean, if you're afraid of your own shadow, if you believe everything, you're afraid of the sun, the light, the this, the that, it's nothing's going to work. You're already gone. But if you can channel your energy into bringing healing powers of regeneration. I mean, on a cellular level, we do shed and regroup and regrow our body cells every so often. It's a period, some every 7 years, every 4 years. It depends on your on your on your frequency level. Exactly, on your frequency level. You can take even the fact of getting DNA from, getting vitamin D from the sun, which is now we're getting plenty of it, right? These last couple of weeks, that we can change that and use that to filter ourselves through. Just like you can make yourself sick, you can make yourself healthy. That's the way it goes. That's the way you can even, I mean, you know how some people when they age, they get old, they look ugly, or they look kind, beautiful. I mean, the face they wore for their lifetime, the emotions that they carry, it is written on their outside. It's the same thing with the inns. It's the same thing. If you hate yourself, you're going to have a certain look of yourself and your body's going to fail you. If you love yourself, you respect yourself, your body will have a certain kind of emanation flow coming from it. See, you understand. You understand what I'm saying. You understand what I'm saying. Of course, you understand. Crystal power energy. Nothing is going to hit you. Yes, I'm not saying you can't get sick, you can't get afflicted, you can't have mood swings. I'm not saying that. But if you can make yourself combine into crystal energy, a crystal shield around your body, healing. You can heal yourself, which is why they're trying to put so many different synthetic things into your body so that ability that we naturally have is crippled. Kabish? Kabish, you understand how it goes. The more shit they put into, excuse me, the more shit they put into your body and gets you, the more in your mind, the less and less detached you become from the source of where you were created and why you were created for. Self-healing is definitely, you think somebody wakes up one time, I'm a little kid, I'm going to be a doctor. And then they go, no, what are you really? I mean, a doctor is different from a physician of the past. And there are true healers. A true healer. What is a healer? What is a physician? These are all questions. This is all, of course, wordplay. But you know what I'm talking about, the essence. Healthy life, healthy mind, healthy heart. Yes, Yes, real. That's the way it is. We have to. We have to get real with each other. We have to get real. We have to seek reality. We have to understand that we've been fed stories, creation stories, past stories, future stories to feed some sort of unholy entity a surplus of negativity. Do you think medicine would be in the state of wealth it's in these days if it was to heal you? If they wanted healthy people? No. Mm-mm. Synthetic is synthetic. It's the same thing if I was to eat this candle over here, this wax, assuming it was a vegetable, right? It's that kind of like, it's as obvious as that, a vegetable. Even the fact you take too, like different, if you look in the old movies, or the different category, the different propaganda they put through all the different films about the different types of people, and also age brackets. Oh, when you're 20, you have to do this. When you go to school, you do this. I mean, they have it all planned out, and lots of people follow that agenda. And then when they get to be like 50, 60, they look like 200 years old. Garf, 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 and still talking. I still have no brains. And even to take the tribal wisdom, tribal communities, when you experience things decades after decades, you're supposed to become wiser. Not in modernity, in modern civilization. You're obsolete. You're useless. You should go to the factory and just put yourself to sleep. Euthanize yourself because you're useless. Not that you have any intelligence to partake. Not that you shouldn't learn anything after a certain age. After 25, they go, "Oh, you can't learn anything." Well, maybe you can. Not maybe you can. You can learn to the day you drop dead. Well, I'm saying we're getting off, but basically, yes. And you're just as good as they can. You're only good to certain people if they can use you. Use you. Now, that's not sharing. That's not even communities. That's just usury. That's just sport. That's just farms. That ain't healthy. That's not healthy. Well, okay, Mystic Moon listeners. I hope you understand that we are in a particularly exciting time. Exciting time for those who have ears and hearts and minds and develop and seek to keep growing. But for others, they're going to be scared. They're going to be scared because they're not even preparing themselves for what they can't even see. They forget. In our society, 2 weeks is a long time. And then a week is a long time. Who can remember what was said last week? Who can remember anything? Which is why a lot of people in powerful positions go like, poo-hoo, well, they don't have to know anything. They'll forget it anyway because there's a disconnect. A disconnect. A disconnect. That's something that we, as growing humans, are connecting ourselves together again. And even if this internet blows off, there's darkness, we're still connected because we feel each other. We know that the hearts are beating. We know that the spirits are rising. The spirits are out there. The universe is working with us. And just maybe, I'm saying just maybe, that if we do have a blackout somewhere, that maybe something else is going on that the universe has interfered with. And I mean to our benefit. So we should just accept, go to sleep. The sun is rising, the sun descends, and go from there. Right? Go from there. Because things are reaching a point And it's up to us, even if there may be a few of us, it's still us, us. And eventually other people will come to our side. Eventually, those that have the strength and the frequency levels, with the IQ. Let's just say frequency levels. You can feel it. We do know that we can sense certain things. And don't forget that. We don't need someone to tell us the fire is hot. We don't need to someone to tell us the ice is cold. It's that simple. That's simple. It's that simple. And we don't need like a mediator, someone in between saying, oh, don't go there or don't do this. Because innately, we're not stupid. We're not stupid. We're made stupid, but we're not stupid. So, and that's the whole thing, too, about sharing psychic energy. Some people can move things. We can move things with our minds. We can do many, many things with our minds and our hearts and our essence and our spiritual flow. We don't need to be connected to some sort of gadgets either. And that's where we are, the process. We're really on the pinpoint of discovering that, rediscovering that, which is why they don't want you to investigate past civilizations. I think it was a fluke, and otherwise, other than caveman and ugh, 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 ugh. That's where it's at. Ugh, 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 ugh. Thank you for the hearts. Thank you for the hearts. Well, I'm going to leave this now, but I think that we made a point about like something's going on, and that you can be a citizen and a medical experiment, uninformed medical bioweapon, lots of things. They're not even asking us anymore, or if they ever have, but now they're letting you know specifically, none of your business what we do with you. None of your business. None of it. But excuse me. This seems now. You see, that's where it's off. It is our business because our bodies are our temples. Our bodies are our micro universe or macro universe, or vice versa. No. To be fluid in one with nature and the universe, that's something no person, nothing, no entity, nothing can take away. Nothing. All right, I'm going to, if anybody wants a reading, let me know. If you want to feel about your place, how these, not entities, how these ingredients, how these realities are feeling inside of us. How are they doing, toying, moving? How are they either helping or distracting you? It's something to think about. All right, I'm going to leave now, actually. I'm going to thinking about the fact of all these things going on without our consent and without our even bridging our intellect and just going rah, 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 rah. And I don't see it as a rah, rah, rah. I see it as a minus. A minus, but two negatives make a positive mathematically. Thank you for the hearts. Thank you for the hearts. Good night. Good night. Good night. Kisses and love. Kisses and love. Thank you very much. And if comments are welcomed, we're going to get through this, and we're going to the next level. Let's stick together. Let's support each other. And let's just, carry on. Thank you very much. Bye-bye.